and Muhammad, the cult of Islam, Muhammad campaigns and conflicts, raids, executions, and authority. When religious authority, in this context, Islam or Muslim religion, when religious authority and military power combine, conflict becomes part of the system, not an exception. Now let's read that again. When religious authority and military power combine, conflict becomes part of the system, not an exception. And this is what people don't want to accept about Islam ideology. Muhammad led multiple campaigns, raids, battles, expulsions, and at least one major execution event. And these actions were part of a 7th century tribal conflict system. But they were also severe by any standard and remain debated in meaning and justification, particularly when you think about the teachings of the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, teaching point number 1. Early campaigns included raids. Ghazwat. This raid was at Ghazwat. Raids on Meccan caravans. That's raids on Meccan caravans. So these guys were marauders. Economic pressure and strategic disruption. An example. These raids escalated tensions and contributed directly to sustained warfare. Okay, so they weren't slight. Teaching point number 2. Major battles entrenched conflict. Badr, Uhud, and Trench. Ongoing military confrontation with the Meccan forces. Losses and retaliation cycles hardened division and reduced chances of peaceful resolution. And this is what they do. Teaching point number 3. Internal conflicts led to expulsion and execution. Banu Kainak, I can't say that. Banu Kanaik, they were expelled. Banu Nadir, expelled. Banu Qurayza, besieged and judged. And here's a negative example here. The Banu Qurayza incident resulted in executions and beheadings of fighting-age men reported in the hundreds. Some figures vary between 600 to 900 in early sources. So you're looking at marauders, raiders. There's nothing Christian about any of this. And these executions were specific, not universal. One tribe, one conflict, not applied to all Jews or Christians, because the Jews and Christians probably didn't get into the way, and Muhammad had a certain amount of unique respect for the people of the book. Now, generalizing the event to all people of the book distorts the scope and fuels broad misinterpretation. Now, Muhammad had a very severe respect for the people of the book. Even though they rejected him, he still knew the reality that the people of the book had it right. So point number 5, warfare followed harsh norms of the time. Collective punishment existed. Political, military, and religious authority were unified. And this explains the structure, not the severity. Point number 6, expansion and consolidation followed conflict. Authority extended across Arabia. Opposition groups were defeated, absorbed, or subordinated. And religious authority became tied to political control, limiting competing claims. Here's some statistics. 7th century Arabia a tribal warfare environment. No modern legal frameworks governed the conflicts. And that's what's happening today. These people are coming out of Arabia into the western parts of the world, and they're just not being able to integrate properly. So here's some practical steps. Number one, separate raids, battles and executions clearly, because they're all different facets of terrorism. Number two, distinguish specific events from general patterns, because they're all connected to terrorism. Include context without removing severity. Oh gosh, well, executions and terrorism. Avoid reducing complex history to one label. So here's a reflection question. Am I willing to hold both the severity of events and the context in which they occurred? Y'all, I am. Here's a 7-day challenge. Take one historical event you view strongly and write it in full context without removing its hardest details. Well, for me, that'd be the event where they beheaded 600 to 900 people. And the World Trade Centers. There's a modern one, the World Trade Centers. Proper context explains events, and it does not erase them. So yes, there were terrorist campaigns, marauding campaigns. Yes, there were executions. And if you want truth, you hold both the facts and the structure around them, not just the part that proves your point. And there's more about Muhammad.